So, okay. So, like I said, getting started in our comfortable seated position. And as usual, just kind of finding whatever that means for you today. So if legs crossed is comfortable and you want to find that, or maybe a little extra hip stretch, pulling the soles of the feet together, or maybe just legs out in front is comfortable for you today. Wherever you're at as we get started, we'll just start with that little bit of body awareness and breathing before we get moving and get going today. So, like I said, as usual, starting with that little bit of body awareness. So we're going to take our scan of the body. We're going to start from the top of the head and move all the way down to the tips of the toes. And as always, this is just an acknowledgement of how you're feeling, where those points of tension are, without any judgment, just noticing them so that you have that little bit of space and leeway as we move into our practice today. So like I said, starting from the top of the head, I just want you to start by noticing how you're feeling in the muscles in the face and the jaw. Sometimes I build a lot of tension up there. I scrunch up my eyes when I close them. I'm tense in my jaw. My teeth start to hurt when I'm stressed. So taking that moment there, maybe letting your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth. Moving that awareness down to the neck and into the shoulders. Noticing maybe if a roll or two of the neck feels good today, just to give that little bit of release, see what kind of tension is going on there. Maybe same thing with the shoulders, give them a couple of nice circles, see if you can find and release any of that tension in that space. Moving down into the arms. So once again, just noticing maybe any tension builds up in the fingers or in the upper arms, or maybe you're still focused on the shoulders. Once again, maybe just a couple circles or shaking them out a little bit helps you find and release that tension. Moving into the torso, noticing the chest, noticing that hot spot of the lower back, the upper back maybe. If you don't have a super supportive chair, it's working all day to keep you up nice and tall into the core. Maybe you got a good core workout this weekend, and we will get into our spinal twists, but if it feels good here to take a spinal twist or two or a lateral stretch or two, finding that for a moment, finding and releasing that tension wherever it might be, in the torso, in the back. Maybe you find a little bit of that seated cat and cow, just to release that lower back a little bit. Open up through the chest and the shoulder blades. Moving down to that other hot spot of the hips. So maybe you do have tense hips here. Maybe you have been sitting all day. So maybe you give yourself that little bit of a butterfly pose here, taking a second to focus on opening up through the hips. Maybe you hinge forward just slightly to find that opening, noticing the glutes. Maybe if they're a little bit tense or tight today, giving them that next nice big exhale. And then as we're in this position, just moving all the way down through the legs, or in whatever position you're in, moving all the way down through the legs, noticing if that tension builds up, noticing if you're maybe a little bit sore through the quads or the hamstrings, notice the calves feel a little bit tight today, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Now if you adjusted for any of those and you want to adjust again, we're just going to find a couple of nice deep breaths. So if you're comfortable where you are, you can stay right there. If you're ready to bring those legs into cross, you can move them there. And like I said, focusing in on your breathing. So now that we've found a little bit of awareness and relaxation through the body, taking a couple of nice deep breaths. As you inhale, I want you to focus on that expansion of the lungs. Give them that space by finding your expansion of the chest, of the belly, of the ribs, really opening up through the front side of the body. Maybe you almost find that seated cow position, arching the back a little bit forward. As you exhale, finding that little bit of extra relaxation once again through those points of tension, through the shoulders, through the lower back. So again, maybe you almost find that seated cat position and allow the spine to round out there. So just moving in a couple of nice deep breaths, whether you pull that motion into it with the spine or whether you keep it nice and centered here. Really allowing for that expansion as you inhale. And that relaxation as you exhale. Taking 2 more nice deep breaths, making them your deepest and longest breaths yet. And when you finish those 2 nice deep breaths, just thinking for a moment about your posture, finding that nice long spine, maybe pulling those shoulder blades just slightly together. And then as we get moving, we're going to go into our spinal twists. We're going to start with kind of our normal passive spinal twist where we use our arms for a little bit of support. So if those legs are still long, I invite you to pull them in. And then after we do that a couple of rounds, we're going to find a little bit of a different version of our spinal twist moving forward. But first and foremost, big inhale, find that nice long spine and center. That exhale takes us over to one side, taking that opposite hand to the outside of that knee. That same side hand comes around behind the back. And like I said, this is kind of passive. So you're really using those hands to open up through the chest towards that side wall to find that deeper twist. And then with that next big inhale, go ahead and bring it through center. Find that nice long spine once again. Exhale over to that other side. Same thing, kind of passive, using those hands to pull your spine around just a little bit, opening up through the chest to that opposite side wall. Next big inhale brings us through center, and then I just want you to move with the pace of your breath. Those inhales come through center, those exhales come to either side. Maybe that hold felt particularly good, so you take an extra moment on either side if you need to. Maybe start to move a little bit faster just to start to wake the spine up. Wherever you are today, taking these couple of moments here. Find that nice twist. You're really using your breath to guide you and lead you. So if you're taking a little bit shallower breaths, because if we stop focusing on it, refocus in, taking a little bit deeper of breaths, whether you move exactly with them, or maybe you find that hold on either side. Go ahead and take this one more time in each direction here for me. When you finish those last 2, however long or short they may be, just coming back to center and finding, again, that little bit of focus on good posture, pulling the shoulder blades just slightly together, nice long spine right in the center. Now, I wanted to change this up a little bit. We're going to do a spinal twist that is a little bit more active. So we're not using our hands for support. We'll use them to guide us. But the twist will be all through the core and through the spine. And then we'll also find a little bit of a chest opener here. So the first thing that I want you to do is find a nice big inhale, bring those arms out now. I want those palms to meet overhead, but we're not going to pull them down to heart center as we normally will. Instead, we're going to bring them right out in front. So those arms are long, but our fingertips are pointed towards that opposite wall. Now, from here, we're going to act like we're kind of pulling back the string on a bow. So we're out in the woods, we're being outdoorsy, we're going to take that right hand, and I want you to just guide it right along that hand. So we're starting to open up our chest towards that opposite wall, but just pulling it back right across the chest. When you reach the very back without extending that right arm, think about opening a little bit further, and then go ahead and extend that arm so that we're opposite directions. So both arms are long, fingertips are pointing towards those front and back walls. Maybe start to feel this through the core as you hold here. Give me one more nice big inhale. And that exhale releases both those hands and that twist back down to your center. Next big inhale, same thing, bring those arms out and up. Palms meet overhead with your exhale. Keep those arms long, bring those fingertips down in front. Same thing with that left arm. So you're going to trail it right along the inside of that opposite arm. Your right arm pulls forward, your left arm pulls back. Keep that elbow bent when you get to the very back. See if you can open up a little bit further and then open that arm up so that chest is as far towards that opposite wall as you can get it. Once again, I kind of feel this through my core with this nice active hold. One more big inhale. Next exhale brings us back to center. Release those arms, release the core. We're going to do that just one more time on each side. Next big inhale brings those arms out now. Palms meet. Exhale pulls them down, right in front. Arms are nice and long. Starting again with that right arm. We track it in along that other arm. We open up through the chest, pulling that elbow back straight. When you get there, see if you can twist a little deeper, and then open up through that right arm, finding that nice big spinal twist, really activating through the core. One more big inhale. Exhale brings you back to center, release those arms, release the core. All right, last time, we just gotta hit that second side, big inhale, arms come out up. Palms meet. Exhale, pulls them down right in front, fingertips point forward, and moving that left arm, tracking it right along the inside of that right, opening up through the chest, pulling the elbow back. When you get there, see if you can twist just a little deeper, then open up through that left arm. Taking a couple of seconds here, finding that nice active twist. We've got one more big inhale. Exhale pulls us back to center, release those arms, give them a couple of nice rolls through the shoulders there. Whew. Nice. All right, we're going to change positions a little bit. We're going to move it, and we are going to get those muscles activated through the legs. So we're going to bring it down onto our back with our knees bent and our feet planted. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, but if you're already facing the short edge of your mat, I invite you to just find that position from here. So like I said, knees are bent, feet are planted. We're going to roll it on down onto our mat. So these first couple are not going to be movement based, they're going to be activation based. So I want you to take those palms, place them flat on the floor right next to those hips. Those feet are flat. Bring about a little pressure through all 10 toes, through all 10 fingers, through the heel of both the foot and the hand. All right, so this one is just kind of an activation. We've done this a couple of times before, where as you inhale, we're going to activate all of the muscles of the body that you can think of and press down into the floor to really activate. That exhale will release and relax. We're going to do 3 of those, starting with that next big inhale. Here we go. So your big inhale, we activate through the muscles. Think about the legs, the core, pressing the hands and the feet down into the floor. And then that exhale releases and relaxes. 2 more just like that, same exact thing. That inhale finds that activation. Think about the legs, think about the core, think about the shoulders as you press those hands down into the floor. Nice big exhale to release and relax. One more time, just like that. Our inhale, find that tension as much as you can. Big exhale releases and relaxes. Final time down to the floor. Now starting to move into that activation of the legs through our range of motion. We're going to find 4 of our glute bridges. So nice and even pace here. Press through the whole bottom of that foot. Lift those hips up. Again, think about that activation. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs, press those feet into the floor. And then with that exhale, we release down. Same thing, 3 more times. Bringing those hips up. Find that activation, squeezing through the glutes. Getting those muscles ready to support us, and then that exhale releases. Twice more, just like that, same exact thing. Activating through the legs. Also think about the core in this one. Think about how strong and sturdy you can make the core as you press those hips up towards the ceiling, releasing back down. We've got just 1 more here. Pressing those hips up, finding that nice big activation, and then releasing down towards the floor. Now, we're going to work on an oppositional force. So one last time, we're going to do something that doesn't involve a huge range of motion, but really thinking about pressing the 2 limbs together so that we're activating through those muscles. So we're going to bring the shoulder into it. So I want you to take that right arm up towards the ceiling. We're then going to lift that left foot off of the floor, keeping that knee bent, and then bring that right hand to meet that knee. Now this is where our opposition comes in. What you're going to try and do at the same time is activate through that right hand to press the knee away, but also activate through the leg to pull that knee in towards the chest. So thinking about that right here, start to activate, pulling them in opposite directions. You feel your shoulders start to stabilize. You feel your wrists start to stabilize, just like you're in a down dog here. You feel that hip flexor start to work. You feel the quads start to tense. Keeping this hold for a couple more seconds. I want you to see how intense you can make these, pressing in that opposite direction. Find 1 more nice big inhale for me. And that next exhale releases them down. I'm just going to trade sides. That right or left foot meets the floor. That right hand comes down to the floor. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Right knee comes up off of the floor. That hand comes down to meet that knee. Same thing right here. I want you to find that nice big activation. Really thinking about strengthening and stabilizing through the shoulder, through the wrist, through the hand, pulling that knee in towards the chest with as much activation as you can. So they shouldn't really be moving, but it should feel like they're really working here. You need a couple more seconds right here. Nice big inhale. Next exhale releases and relaxes. We're going to do a little bit shorter of a version of that one more time on each side. So go ahead on that opposite side, lift that left knee, that right hand, bring them to each other. Here we go, ramping it right up, activating in opposite directions. Activate your core, press that knee in, press that hand away for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. We've got one more time on that second side. Take that hand up towards the ceiling. Bring that foot up off the floor. Hand and knee come together. Last activation. Go ahead and ramp it up. Press them in that opposite direction. Get them going. Find that pressure for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Nice work. Go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest from there. Doing a little bit of a rock side to side or in little circles. Giving that lower back a nice little massage here. All right, then I want you to go ahead and bend those knees and plant those feet. We've got one more thing before we really get moving here today, before we flip it over one more time. I want you to just think about where your pelvis is when you sit nice and neutrally on the floor here. So all we're going to do is do a couple of pelvic tilts. This is a little bit more traditionally Pilates based, but we're going to pull it in here just because I want to bring a little bit of body awareness to the pelvis today. So thinking about where your lower back is, I want you to press into the floor as hard as you can. So you're tipping your pelvis in that opposite direction. If your pelvis, some of your pelvis was a soup bowl, we would be spilling it all over the floor here. So really pressing that lower back into the floor. And then I want you to tilt it in that opposite direction. So lifting the lower back, opening the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Maybe those ribs release a little bit up towards the ceiling. So opening up there. And I just want you to do that a few more times. Just rock it back and forth. Moving those hips in one direction, pressing the lower back into the floor, and then in that other direction, lifting it off, almost arching that spine in a way that if we were really activating and training a core exercise, you wouldn't want it to pop up off the floor. Just a couple times here, nice and easy, take it at your own pace. Really feel it out. See if you can, if you've never done this before, how it feels to rock it a little bit forward and backward. You can add another 3 breaths here. Nice. Give me one more nice deep breath. And then bringing the spine and the pelvis back to neutral. And we're going to flip it one more time. So we're just transitioning over to hands and knees from here. So taking your time to get there, whether you roll on one side, press up through center, maybe kick those feet up and roll it up over top. But we're going to get moving into our little bit of a flow up next. So I invite you to bring it on over, find hands and knees. When you get there, we're going to move it into our cat and cow. So once again, just kind of activating through the spine, thinking again about the way that the pelvis moves as you find that. So maybe initiate that movement, range of motion with your pelvis. So tilting it in one direction, and then letting the rest of your spine and your chin and your chest follow. So initiating at the pelvis, moving it all the way through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, finding that range of motion. A couple of times in each direction here. Nice, and then starting to connect to the breath if you didn't already. So those exhales are rounding out the spine towards the ceiling. Those inhales are rounding out towards the floor, lifting the chin, opening to the chest. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths here. Twice more in each direction. Nice. When you finish those last 2 nice deep breaths, I want you to just bring that spine back to a nice, easy, neutral position. Now, we did that opposition to activate through the core. So we're going to use that activation. We're going to use that strength and stability to pull us to our bear position. So you're going to curl those toes under. Instead of pressing the hips up and back into our down dog, I want you to think about stabilizing through the shoulders, activate through your core, and then just lift your knees about 3 inches up off of the floor. So we're just floating right here. My hips are still right over my knees. We're just going to find this for a couple of moments, almost like we're holding a plank here. But I want you to just take a quick evaluation of the body. Bring that neck to nice and neutral so it's nice and long. You're looking about 6 inches in front of those fingertips. The shoulders are right over the wrists, and you have a little bit of space between the shoulder blades, so not letting the chest sink down, but opening up through those shoulder blades. The hips are still right over the knees, and we're activating through the core to make sure that the lower back doesn't round out towards the ceiling or towards the floor. It's nice and neutral. And then hopefully, like me, you're starting to feel this a little bit through the quads, through the core. If not, I want you to think about tensing and activating those muscles. So the same way that we did when we were on the floor, you're activating through the core, you're activating through those hands, pressing them down into the floor. Find one more nice deep inhale right here. Keep those knees floating. And that exhale nice and gently lowers us back down. Bring those knees down. Let those legs release a little bit. Let the core release a little bit. Maybe wiggle a little side to side or find a nice easy cat and cow once or twice. We're going to do that just one more time, but we're going to add to it about halfway in. So whenever you're ready, I want you to do that same thing. Curl those toes under. Activate through those shoulders. Press the palms and the fingertips into the floor. Lift those knees about 3 inches up. So we're floating right here. Now we're going to hold this for just a couple of moments, then I'm going to give you the option to add to it. So finding your breath, take that quick evaluation of the body once again. Bring that back to neutral. Make sure the shoulders are over the wrists. Now, you can hold right here for a last little bit of this, or to add to it, we're going to step it back into a plank. So take those feet nice and long, back into our nice stable plank. And then I want you to step it back into that bear position. So step those knees in, keep them floating. Bring them back to bed, activate through the core to keep that spine neutral. We're just going to do a couple of those here. So if you're moving with me, just keep it on going, nice even pace. Find that strong plank, step those knees back in. If you're just holding and you need a little break, I invite you to drop those knees for a second, nice and easy, and bring it back up. Or find your breath, focusing on it, and find that hold. We're going to move for about another 10 seconds here. Stick with me. Nice work, you guys. Looking good, looking good. We're almost there. If you're moving those feet, give me one more time, out and in. And when you bring it in, or if you were holding in, nice and easy, go ahead and set those knees down. Take them nice and wide. Bring those toes close together. Sit the hips back towards the heels. Nice big child's pose. Giving those shoulders a little bit of a break, giving those wrists a couple of rolls if you need it. Maybe you walk the hands side to side. Taking just a second here, giving your core a little break before we've got one more little challenge before we get into our flow today. All right, awesome. Go ahead and bring those hands back to center if you found either side to side or changed it up a little bit from there. Now, from here, we're going to take it into our down dog. So I want you to put a little pressure through those hands, lift the hips, curl the toes under, press those hips up and back. Now we're going to take a second to just find a stretch. So press those hips up. My calves are super tight today. So maybe taking a second like me to pedal out those heels, maybe move the hips a little side to side. Thinking about putting pressure through all 10 of those fingers. Taking a little bit of pressure out of your wrists. Nice big stretch. All right, awesome. So like I said, we've got one more challenge before we move into our flow. So from this down dog, I want you to float those shoulders out over those wrists into our plank. Now from here, you're welcome to stay just in this nice plank hold, and you can drop it down to those elbows if you'd like. However, to take that challenge up, we're going to find a T plank. So I'm going to take my feet about a foot apart so that I have space to drop my heel down in between. And all I'm going to do is alternate from through center. I'm going to drop both heels to the left, open up that right arm into my side plank. Take a nice inhale when I get there, and then that exhale is going to bring me back down through center. Same thing on that other side. I'm going to drop my heels to the right. I'm going to open up to the left. I'm going to find that nice big inhale when I get there, and that exhale pulls me back down to center. Now, option to keep going with that. Option to stay in this center plank. Option to drop down to those elbows, and you can still find that nice T if you're on those elbows, side to side. And also, as always, option to modify and just find that nice plank hold from those knees. We're going to keep going for about another 20 seconds. So keep breathing, keep going. If you need that modification or if you need to take a break, take it. Staying strong through that core. Nice job, you guys. Looking good, looking good. We're almost there. Nice work. All right, now I started by dropping my heels to the left and opening with the right, so I'm going to do one more time on each side. I want you to finish with that second side if you were finding that side to side. And then when you're ready, we're just going to drop into that low plank. So if you were getting it moving, when you finish those last two, you're just going to drop those knees here. There's still a nice long line from the knees up to the shoulders. And then you can even lift those feet a little bit to remind you. So we're kind of in a modified plank position from here, just to give it just a tiny little break for that core, but it's still working, it's still activated. So if you're not feeling it, make sure those hips are nice and low. So we've got a long line from the shoulders to the knees. Keep breathing in this. All right, now from here, we're going to transition right to our down dog. Drop those toes if you lifted them, press those hips up and back. Activate through the core, thinking about almost pulling those hands and feet towards each other. So it's not quite possible from this position, but if you could scrunch your mat up in the middle, trying to do that. Now from here, nice little bend through those knees with that next big exhale. I want you to step or hop those feet nice and easy up to those hands. We're finding our forward fold. Taking a moment here for a nice easy stretch. Maybe you start with a nice bend through those knees, giving them a little bit of time to adjust. Maybe you alternate lengthening one then the other. Maybe you nice and easy shake the head yes or no. All right, nice. With that next inhale, we're going to find our halfway lift. So trailing those hands up halfway on the legs. We've got our flat back, long spine. Same thing with that neck. So bringing that gaze down to the floor, finding that nice neutral neck. That exhale folds us forward. We're going to find that one more time. Bring me to that halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale folds us forward. Awesome job, you guys. Our next inhale is going to roll us all the way up to that extended mountain. So bring it vertebrae by vertebrae up to the top, all the way standing, and then bringing those arms out and up towards the ceiling. Pull those palms together. Exhale to bring them down to heart center. Now we're going to spend just a moment in our mountain, just make a couple of small adjustments. So I want you to bring those hands down by your hips. I then want you to heel toe your feet so that the big toes are touching and the ball of the foot is touching. Your heels don't necessarily need to be. If you'd like them, if that's comfortable, they can be. But I know that my feet don't quite do that naturally, so there's a little space between my heels. I want you to face your palms towards the opposite side of the room. So we're really opening them up rather than towards the body, towards the front of the room. Think about that pelvis and that neck once again. So finding a neutral pelvis here, pulling the shoulder blades together, nice long spine all the way out through the neck. Relax the shoulders down even though we're pulling the shoulder blades together. I want you to really ground yourself through the bottom of your feet. So we're nice and strong, we're nice and steady and stable. Find a nice big inhale. And then a nice big exhale. Our next inhale is going to pull those arms out and up. And our exhale is going to swan back us forward into our forward fold. Once again, we've got that halfway lift. Exhale to fold it forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, roll it all the way up, extended mountain. Arms come overhead. This time I want you to just face the palms towards each other. So don't bring the palms together, but they're facing each other. Our exhale sits us back into our chair. So press the thighs towards each other and then sit back at those hips into that nice, easy chair pose. Trying to keep the chest open. So try to keep those biceps up by the ears. Try to keep that nice long spine, keeping your pelvis nice and neutral. Inhale for a little bit more length, trying to sit up a little higher. And then exhale to fold it forward, bring those fingertips down to the ground. From here, we're going to plant those hands, so bend those knees, step it back into our high plank position. We've got one T-plank in each direction, so we're going to open up with that right arm, drop those heels to the left, open up into our nice side plank here. Exhale to bring it back down. Inhale through center, and bring that left arm up. Exhale, drop that hand back down to our center. Chaturanga, high to low, bend at those elbows from the toes or from the knees, lower the chest down, inhale, press the chest up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, turn those toes over, hips go up and back. From here, we're gonna take that right foot into our three-legged dog. Our inhale presses it up and back, slight bend through that left knee, sweep that right foot forward, planting it down. We're gonna bring that to our warrior two. Turn that left heel down, lead with that left arm, circle them up. We've got a bend through that right knee. We've got a whole ton of length between fingertips. And we've got a nice long back leg. Our next inhale brings us into our peaceful warrior. Flip that front palm, reverse it. Exhale brings us back out to that center. And then cartwheel it all the way down. Pull that left heel up. We're almost in this kind of low lunge position. Taking a second to settle into this. Find a long back left leg so you feel a little stretch through that hip flexor. So maybe if you need a little bend, you just work on opening up a little bit. Maybe you think about really straightening. Now, I want you to rock just slightly backwards through that left heel, and then we're going to bring it forward to meet the right. So pressing off of it onto those toes, and then bringing it forward, we're in our forward fold. Make sure that when you land, you take a second to adjust so that those big toes are together. We're going to sit into our chair one more time. Our inhale sweeps those arms up, sits those hips back. Exhale sinks us into it just a little bit deeper. Next inhale stands us up nice and tall. Pull those palms together, exhale down to heart center. All right, inhale, shoots those arms back up to center. Exhale, swan dives us forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. One more time, just like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, roll it all the way up one more time, extended mountain. Exhale, sinks us back into that chair pose one more time. Sit those hips back. Those arms are up nice and long. That spine is nice and long. Our inhale lengthens a little further. Our exhale pulls us forward, bringing those hips back up. We're going to take it back into our high plank. So go ahead and bend those knees, plant those hands, step it back. High plank position. From here, we've got our T's opening up from one side into that nice side plank. Exhale brings us back down to center. Same thing on that other side. Opening up. Exhale brings us back down to center. Through chaturanga, high to low. Keep those elbows closed from the toes or the knees, lowering down. Inhale, presses the chest up. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, turns the toes over. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale our three-legged dog on the left. Bring it up and back. Slight bend through that right knee. Exhale, pulls that left foot forward, plants that foot into that lunge. We're bringing it into our warrior two. Turn that right heel down, lead with the right arm. Cartwheel it up. Once again, we've got that nice bend through the left knee. We've got a nice long right leg. We're super long from fingertip to fingertip. Next inhale brings us to our peaceful. Flip that front palm, reverse it. Exhale brings us back out to center. And all the way down. Go ahead and bring that left hand down. That right hand follows. That right heel comes up. From here, we are going to step it back. We're going to step it forward. So rocking that right heel back. Pressing off of the toes, right comes forward to meet the left. Bring those toes nice and close together. Inhale brings us to our chairs. Squeeze those arms up, sit those hips back. Exhale sinks into it a little deeper. Inhale stands us up nice and tall. Hold the palms together. Exhale down to heart center. Inhale, shoots those arms back up. Exhale, folds us forward, swan dive it down. One halfway lift here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, one time. Exhale, fold us forward. We're rolling it all the way up with that next inhale, all the way to our extended mountain. This time, when you get to the top, the palms face each other. Our exhale sinks those hips back into that chair. Inhale, lengthens a little bit more, trying to sit up through the chest. Exhale, fold us forward, bring those hands towards the mat, bring those hips up nice and tall. From here, we're going to step it back into that high plank. We've got our T's. Our next inhale opens us up through one side. Exhale brings us down through center. Inhale over to the other side. Exhale down to center. We've got our high to low, chaturanga, toes or knees, lowering it down. Keep those elbows nice and close. Inhale, press the chest up. Turn those toes over. Top of the feet meet the mat. Exhale, turns them back over. Press those hips up and back. Three-legged dog with that right. Inhale, brings it up and back. Slight bend through the left. Exhale, sweeps it forward. Plants that foot. Warrior two, turn the left heel down. Lead with the left, sweep it up. Open those arms, nice and long, fingertip to fingertip. Inhale, flips it over, front palm reverses, peaceful. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way back down. Bring that right hand down, bring that left hand down as we pull that left heel up. We rock just slightly backwards on the left and then spring that foot forward to meet the other, bringing those toes nice and close together. Our next inhale sweeps us into that chair. Those arms come up, those hips sit down. Exhale sinks into it a little bit deeper. Inhale stands us up nice and tall. Exhale pulls the palms together, down to heart center. We're moving through this just one more time to get that other side. Inhale shoots them back up. Exhale folds us forward. One halfway lift here. Inhale for our flat back. Exhale folds us forward. Inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Palms face each other when you get to the top. Exhale sinks those hips back into our chair. Inhale lifts the chest just a little further. Exhale folds us forward, fingertips down towards the mat, hips go up. We're going to take those feet back into our high plank. Nice and long. T in each direction, open up through one side. Nice easy side plank here. Exhale brings us down through center. T in that second direction, open up. Exhale down to center. High to low through chaturanga, toes or knees. Keep the elbows close. Lower down. Inhale to turn the toes over, press the chest up. Exhale, turn them back over, hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. Left foot goes up and back. Three-legged dog, sweep it forward. Plant that foot. Turn that right heel down. We're going to lead with the right as we cartwheel up. Next inhale turns the front palm over, lifts it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down. Turn the right heel up. Plant those hands. Lean backwards just slightly. Bring the right forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Last chair here. Inhale, sweep it up. Sit the hips back. Sink into it with our exhale. Inhale brings us up tall. Exhale pulls the palms together. All right. When you get to that standing position, wherever that might be for you, I want you to take a comfortable mountain pose. So if comfortable for you is with the toes together, that's awesome. If comfortable for you is with those feet right underneath the hips, we'll just take a couple moments here in that nice easy mountain pose. So palms can face forward or towards your sides. Maybe letting the shoulders relax and release a little bit as you pull them just slightly together into that nice posture. And then when you get there, thinking once again about the pelvis, thinking about that nice long neck, and then come back into your breath for a moment. Focus on that expansion through the rib cage, through the chest, those nice deep inhales. With those exhales, finding that little bit of release and relaxation, letting the shoulders release a little bit. Finding just a couple of nice, easy, deep breaths here. And then I want you to kind of think about that activation. Think about grounding through the feet, but traveling up from the feet as we ground in. So thinking first about the bottoms of those feet, making sure that you've got all three corners of the feet nice and stable in contact with the ground. So all 10 toes, the inside ball of the foot, the outside ball of the foot, and the heel. So we're not up on the toes, we're not pulling the toes up off the mat. We're nice and stable in center. From there, I want you to think about the calves just for a moment here. So when you're standing, they're appropriately activated. If you were walking up some stairs, they might be a little bit more activated. If you were seated, they might be a little bit less. But just think about where they are and notice them. With the legs, the upper legs, I want you to think about kind of pulling the kneecaps up towards the ceiling. So we're activating through those quads. We're thinking about making sure that those muscles are nice and stable and steady. but we're not in a full activation. So it's not 100% squeezing the muscle with everything you have, but just slightly pulling those kneecaps up towards the ceiling. Now with the pelvis and the core, we're trying to keep it kind of neutral. So if your natural stance has a little bit of round through the back and you arch out, or if your natural stance arches this way a little bit, just trying to bring it to a nice neutral. Think about where that pelvis was as we were on the floor with the knees bent and the feet planted, not in either of those extremes, but right here. And then that core is, again, the same as those thighs, a nice even activation, not your 100%, but not relaxed and released either, trying to use it as that support system. Shoulder blades come just slightly together, so not that 100%. But just finding that good posture. The shoulders are released and relaxed. Long spine. Find 2 more nice deep breaths here. We found that little bit of activation all the way through. We're going to find our lateral bending next. So with your next inhale, bring those arms out now. I know my arms are going to get chopped off here, but bear with me. Your next exhale is going to pull that right arm down and that left arm up over top. So the right arm comes down, reaching towards your knee, reaching towards your heel. That other arm comes up over top. That nice big stretch from those fingertips all the way down to that same side, that left foot in contact with the mat. So we're not leaning off so far that we don't have that pressure through that opposite foot. We've still got even pressure through the feet. Next inhale brings us through center. Same thing other side. Down to that side, but we're not making too uneven pressure. We've got nice length from those right fingertips down to that right foot. We're going to do one more time in each direction here. That next big inhale brings us through center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale brings us through center. Exhale brings us left. Last time, inhale brings us through center. Exhale circles those arms down and around. All right, just take a second here, release and relax. You did a little bit of activating there. Give those quads a second to just kind of come back to their natural state. Give that core a second to come back to its natural state. Maybe give your shoulders a couple rolls. Maybe let the chin drop to the chest. Taking just a second. All right. Now I am going to move to the top of my mat. So if you're already there and you're ready to start moving from there, that's awesome. If you're not like me, you can take this second to just readjust so that we're ready to start going. We're going to hit a little flow. We're actually going to go into, I'm going to do like a brief demo of headstand as an option today at the very end. And then we'll do a quick little shavasana. So to get started in our next flow, we're going to find that nice big inhale to bring those arms out and up. All right, exhale folds us forward. We're going to spend a couple moments in our forward fold here as we get started. But just taking this time, maybe let the head of the neck release, maybe let the spine round out a little bit. Taking just this second, notice here how different this might feel than when you first started. So when you first started, you could not lengthen those legs. And now it's changed a little bit, so you've got a little bit longer of legs, fully lengthened legs. Just take this second to appreciate and notice that as you got warmed up and moving. All right, our next inhale is going to bring us to that halfway lift, finding that flat, long spine. Just reminding ourselves what that feels like one more time. And that exhale is going to fold us forward. We're actually not going to take it even to the floor for this one. So all I want you to do is take that right foot and step it back nice and long, like we're coming into our crescent lunge, because we are. So that right heel stays off of the floor. Taking a second to look at that left knee. The knee is right over top of the ankle. We're nice and stable. When you find your balance, your next inhale, sweeps those arms up into our crescent lunge. Now, same as the other ones, we're going to take a couple moments in this. So I want you to just take a quick evaluation of the body. Is that right leg long? Is that left knee bent? Maybe take a look down and see if it changed at all when you came up. Think about how the spine feels in this. So if this feels a little bit more arched than standing does, maybe tucking the pelvis under a little bit, activating through that knee. We're going to bring this to our warrior two. Go ahead and turn that right heel down. Open those arms up. Now this is a little bit of an adjustment. Open those hips up towards the inside of the wall, but for this, or towards that side wall. But for this one, I want you to think about that back leg, that right leg, and trying to almost curl that quad so that it is facing closer towards that front knee. So you're not actually making an adjustment of the hips, but it's just that activation in the same way that we pulled the kneecaps up towards the ceiling. We're going to reverse this into our peaceful warrior. So with your next inhale, flip the front palm and lift it up and back. Once again, taking just a second here to find this nice stretch. Now we're going to intensify it. With your next inhale, I want you to lengthen that front leg. So we're taking that bend out of that front knee. We're still in this nice side bend, a little intense. Exhale brings us back out to center. So both legs are long, both arms are long. We've got a nice even spine here. We've got our triangle. Our next exhale shifts our hips backwards and our fingertips forward. And then we're going to cartwheel it down so that the fingertips go towards the floor. The right arm comes up towards the ceiling. We're in this nice even triangle position. I've got some options here. If we're not touching the floor, you're really using your core to stay nice and long and strong. If you need a little bit of help, you can bring that hand to the top of that leg, or if you've got that flexibility, those fingertips can meet the floor. Now, we're going to revolve this. I want you to exhale, bring that right hand down to the floor, and then we're going to open that left hand up as much as you can. Just kind of opening it up. If you're a little off on that balance, maybe you just open it up to the side just slightly. If you've got that balance down a little bit today, opening up a little bit further. And next exhale brings us back down. So fingertips come back down, right arm opens back up. Now from here, we're going to bend through this front knee once again. So we're still hinged forward. I just want you to bend that knee. We're almost in our extended side angle here. So added that bend to the knee. Once again, you're using that core to stay long, or you can bring that elbow onto that same side knee for a little bit of a rest. Now this next transition is going to be a tough one, so I want to give you a couple of options. Our first option, bend super deep through that knee and plants this hand. Now if you've got that mobility to bring that in, from here, we're going to use our core to bring that left foot to meet the right. So I'm going to lift it up and slide it back into my side plank. Option there goes to bring that right hand down. We use it for support as we sweep that left foot back to meet the right. And then when you get stable and steady, we open back up into that side plank, giving yourself a second. Whenever you reach it, make sure you've got a nice long spine. Make sure those hips are up high. Your exhale brings that right hand down to the mat, turns so those heels are up. We're in our high plank position. From here, like I said, we're not doing our low flow today, so I want you to press those hips up and back, arm facing dog. Bend slightly through those knees, and then step or jump those feet forward to meet the hands. Nice. All right, go ahead and inhale, roll it all the way up, extended mountain. Arms come overhead, palms come together. Exhale brings us down to heart center. Nice. All right, we're gonna hit that on that other side. Our inhale brings those arms out now. We exhale to swan dive forward into our forward fold. We've got our single halfway lift here. So go ahead and inhale to bring it up, flat back, long spine. Exhale to sink it down. Now we're switching sides, so we're taking it back into our crescent lunge. From here, that left foot steps back, that heel stays off the ground. Take a second to notice that right knee, make sure it's over that ankle. When you're balanced, inhale, scoops those arms up. Once again, when you get there, we're going to take this moment to really activate through that back leg. Think about that core and the pelvis. Think about that right knee. It's got a nice bend here. Our next exhale turns that heel down, opens us up into our warrior two. Next inhale brings it to, we're going to take a second here. There we go. We're going to think about wrapping that quad in. So we're activating through that back leg, trying to almost turn it over if we could. Here we go. Now our next inhale turns that front palm over, lifts it up and back, reverses it. Peaceful. Next inhale lengthens that front leg, intensifies just a little bit, and our exhale brings us back out to that nice center, long leg, long arm position. We've got our triangle next. Our exhale sends those hips backwards and those hands forward. We bring it down, fingertips towards the floor, left arm goes up, opening up through those shoulder blades. Again, thinking about the core here, thinking if you need that little balance on that bottom leg, totally fine. You can float those fingertips off of the floor of the leg, that's awesome. We're gonna revolve it, bring those left fingertips down. Once again, as far as you can safely feel comfortable opening up through that right arm. So maybe you just bring it open a little bit. You start to feel a little unstable, you keep it there. Maybe you open it up a little bit further, try and get that chest open. Wherever you are is awesome. Our next exhale brings it back down, opens through that left arm once again. Now, same thing here. We're going to bend through that right knee. So that brings that hand down closer towards the floor. And we're in our kind of extended side angle here. And then we've got those options to bring it down. So I'm going to bend even deeper. I'm actually going to bring my hand around behind that leg so that I have that space. And then again, you can bring your right back to meet your left from here. Or if you need that little bit of extra space, bring that left hand down. Sweep that right foot back. When you get there, bring that right hand back down. Open up into that side plank. Now, it looks like I'm facing away. My computer's right there. I can see you guys. Nice work. Next big exhale brings that left hand down, turns those heels up. Way to go. So like I said, same thing. We're not bringing it low. So inhale to bring those hips up and back. Bend through those knees. Exhale to step or jump those feet forward to meet those hands. Nice work. Inhale rolls it all the way up. Extend them out. And exhale, pulls those hands down to heart center. Now we're not going to go through all of that again because I want to have a little bit of time on the tail end of this to get us into our headstand. So we're just going to do one quick flow here just to get us moving one more time. So our next big inhale brings those arms out and up. Our exhale swan dives us forward into our forward fold. Inhale brings us to that halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale folds us forward. We're still going to step that right foot back into our crescent lunge, so bring it back, heel stays off the ground. Inhale sweeps those arms up. Exhale sits us into that warrior two. Inhale flips the front palm, reverses it. Exhale this time brings us all the way down. Cartwheel those arms down, left knees first, right comes down, right heel comes up. Left foot goes back to meet the right. And then we're going to go right into that downward facing dog. Press those hips up and back. Nice little bend through those knees. Step or jump it forward. And then inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Right back into it. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward. We've got our crescent lunge. Step that left foot back. Nice and long. Heel stays off the ground. Inhale, sweeps us up. Crescent. Exhale brings us to our warrior two. Turn that heel down, open up. Inhale flips the front palm, reverse it. Exhale cartwheels us all the way back down. Right hand meets, left heel comes up. Press through those hands, that right foot goes back to meet the left, high plank. Press those hips up and back, down dog. Nice little bend through those knees, step or jump the feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale rolls us all the way up. Extended mountain. Pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center. All right, awesome job, you guys. So like I said, one final thing before we finish out today is just going to be a quick little headstand tutorial. If headstand or inversions sound horribly unpleasant to you today, I invite you to find legs up the wall at this point to find a little bit different of an inversion, where you're just bringing those hips up nice and close to the wall, taking those feet up onto the wall, and then just bringing it into a position with the upper body. And then for our headstand, I'm just going to kind of walk us through it a little bit. So no pressure to move forward from any of the poses that we do. You can stick to the most basic all the way up to headstand if it's in your practice. I want you to just kind of find it at your own pace here. But I'm just going to turn sideways so that you can see what's going on. And I'm just going to bend at my knees here and bring it down into kind of a low squat. Now I'm going to first walk us through our tripod headstand, and then I'll just kind of give you the option to take it up a notch. So bringing those knees down, and those hands are nice and flat, like I'm right in my hands and knees position. Now for this one, when I bring my head down, if you've got a hard floor, you're always welcome to put something underneath or roll that mat in a little bit, because it can get a little bit intense. But I am going to bring the top of my head to that flat part of my head down onto the mat, which brings a nice bend into my elbows.
Now this is a tripod, so our 3 points of contact with the top of the head and both palms. Now from here, rather than kicking up into that headstand, I'm actually going to activate through my core and walk my hips over to my center of gravity. So I'm going to activate and lengthen those legs and walk it in so that my hips are up. Now from here, nice and easy, we're just going to take it up a notch by bringing the knees onto the backs of the elbows. So this is super stable for me. I'm not really doing a whole ton of balance work, but my core is really activated here. I'm trying to keep it up nice and long. From this position, now this is what takes a little bit of practice and work. So, if you need to practice getting up here, I suggest having a wall behind you or something soft. But you would activate through that core and press those feet up. So that wall would be back here to catch you. However, if you've never tried headstand before, maybe you just stay nice and easy in this tripod and think about activating through the core. If you have headstand in your practice, you can take it up now. If you're ready to take it up a notch, I've got that forearm headstand where we're finding that same kind of concept. We're using our hands as kind of a pillow. Those elbows are another base of support here. But the same thing here. So when you go into a headstand, trying to use your core to activate, rather than picking up and trying to do one of these things and find your balance, you walk it in so those hips are high. So I invite this as a really good starting point to bringing those hips high and thinking about where your core strength is. And then when you get there, pulling it up, and then you've got your balance there, and then lengthening those legs. Now, if you found your headstand, taking another nice deep breath, and then with that next exhale, nice and easy, bring those feet down. Release the head, give it a second, don't try and go up right away. If you're working on that headstand, taking another second. Nice job, you guys. Ooh, looking good, looking good. If you found that legs up the wall, taking a moment, nice, to bring it on down, circle it around. And we're gonna bring it to our comfortable seat. So when you're ready, when you've gotten rid of that little bit of head rush from being upside down, then you bring it over to our comfortable seat. Now, here's a little challenge for you guys moving forward, and I invite you to, reach out to me if you want any extra help with that. I love headstands. They're my absolute favorite thing. Do them for a bunch of ridiculous photos on vacations and stuff like that. So feel free to shoot me an email if you want a little extra help working that into your practice. However, that's what I have for you guys today, and I, as always, so appreciate you guys being here with me for this extra 20 minutes. I love being able to do this. I love you guys share your Monday evenings with me. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. We're going to finish with one nice deep breath here, leading with those arms as you inhale, bring it out now. Those palms meet right overhead. We exhale, pulling down to heart center. Lighten the arms, lighten you, bowing as we say namaste.